Welcome to day 4 of the Bridge course in English language. And now we have come out with the module 2, talking about the functional English. In today's functional English module, let us look at some ways of seeking attention and interrupting a conversation. Both are equally important in order to make the communication more effective and polite. Let us look at some ways of doing it. This is a very important use of language where the learner has to know how to interrupt the conversation in the middle and put up his or her point of view. One needs to politely get people's attention before speaking to them and needs to interrupt respectfully when a person is talking. Both seeking attention and interrupting a conversation are skills to learn and with practice picked up very well. The following are some useful tips to seek attention and interrupt a conversation. It is always polite to wait till the person looks at you. Begin with an apology like, "Excuse me, pardon me, I'm sorry, sorry to bother you, I hate to interrupt, but sorry to interrupt," and so on. The intonation to be maintained should be genuinely polite. The response to the interruption should be, "It's all right, that's okay, that's all right, doesn't matter, never mind," and so on. These expressions for seeking attention and interruption and the responses are very, very common. When somebody says, "Excuse me," the response that is expected is, "Yes," with a rising tone. "Pardon me," okay, it's not a bother, should be the response. "I'm sorry to interrupt you, but," could have the response of, "That's all right." "I'm sorry, but," the response could be, "That's okay." Sorry to button, B-U-T-T, but. Button is not B-U-T, but the conjunction. Butting in is to interrupt. Sorry to button, the response could be, "That's fine." Could I stop you for a minute? The response could be, "Why not?" Could I interrupt you? The response could be, "Of course." Are you free for a minute? Or have you got a minute? The response could be, "Of course, why not?" All these are some very wonderful ways of seeking attention or interrupting a conversation and the related responses. Let's now look at a few dialogues implementing these expressions and responses. The very first dialogue is between teacher and Hari. The teacher says, "There's two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen unite to form one molecule of water. So," Hari interrupts in the middle. "Excuse me, sir." "Excuse me, ma'am," raising his hand. The teacher says, "Yes." Hari says, "What happens when water evaporates into water vapor? Is it the same composition?" The teacher says, "Now that's a good question. Yes, it remains the same." So Hari interrupts the teacher by telling, "Excuse me." Look at the second dialogue. This dialogue is going on between Mary, Mahesh, Sudha, and John. Mary says, "I had been to the Taj Mahal in Agra and it's so beautiful. Then we went to..." Sudha interrupts. "Sorry to interrupt, Mary, but tell us more about the Taj." Mary says, "Oh yes, it was built by Shah Jahan in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal and it is one of the wonders of the world. The milky white marble stone that it is made up of, the architectural..." Mahesh interrupts. "Just a minute of interruption, Mary." Mary says, "Yes." Mahesh, "Has the white marble stone become tinted due to pollution?" Mary says, "Yes. The government is trying its best to revive its natural beauty." Now John says, "Sorry to butt in, but what's going on?" Who has joined the conversation very late. So he says, "Sorry to butt in, but what's going on?" Sudha says, "It's about her recent trip to Delhi and Agra that Mary is sharing. Come, join us." The dialogue 3 is by Saurabh, and see the dialogue that is kept in the left side of your textbooks. Sorry, I'm interrupting you, friends. I just wanted to confirm whether you are all coming for the extra classes in psychology on Sunday. Please confirm me the time as well. Look at this, where Sita is butting in. She says, "Pardon me, sir, I don't want to interrupt, but could you please explain the mudras and that you just performed once again? I'm sorry I couldn't get you." Now, this is a small conversation that is going on between Suresh and Meena. Suresh says, "Excuse me, madam, could I speak to you for a minute?" Meena, "Yes. Please come in. Have your seat." Suresh says, "Thank you, madam. I have come to give this wedding invitation of my sister to you, ma'am." And Meena answers, "Oh, thank you. Congratulations. Thank you very much for the invitation. I shall definitely be there." Every language is spoken with a varying pitch. Pitch is the number of times our vocal cords vibrate per second. The number of times they open and close in a second. Sometimes the pitch of our speech goes up or comes down or may remain steady. Different patterns of variations of the pitch of the voice constitute the intonation of the language. Many a times, it refers to the patterns of variation, and native speakers of English identify 6 different tones or tunes. But in practice, one needs at least to have 3 tones: the falling tone, where the pitch falls down from a higher level, the rising tone, where the pitch rises up, and the fall rise tone. Normally, the falling tone is used, it consists of the fall of the pitch from the higher to the lower level, and this tone is used for a complete utterance, WH questions, and is neutral said in a matter of fact way, some commands, and sometimes some exclamations and question tags. The rising tones is sometimes referred to as glide up. It consists of a rise in the pitch of the voice from a low level to the high level. This tone is used to express the complete utterances, requests, alternative questions, enumeration of things, and so on. The fall rise tone is also referred to as a drive. It consists of a fall from high to fall and then to a rise from the middle of the voice. The falling rising tone is normally used for the special implications which cannot be verbally expressed, as in the satires or ironical expressions. One needs to be very careful in the tone to be maintained while speaking, especially in the seeking attention and interrupting a conversation, because the tone maintained carries all the expressions of the communication. Thank you very much for watching this. Stay tuned for the next video.